Hello guys, and welcome to another playthrough of Commands and Colors Engines. Today I will again bring in a change in my gameplay. Basically, well, if you have followed my channel for a while, you know that I had my own custom-made solo rules for playing Commands and Colors. And you know, with this reduced hand, you remember, and well, there were some issues with that, some that I saw myself and some that some viewers pointed out, and they were all pretty valid arguments for me to ditch that system and actually play with the vanilla rules. More or less, I played with some parts differently, or basically one part, and that's the first strike card that I have still some special rules for. But and well, I kind of like the vanilla play, but I still, well, I kind of like when I play Solitaire that I don't have full control of both sides, because it kind of gives me just the impression of, you know, beating myself and having, you know, these longer term plans on both sides, and trying to, well, kind of hide them in my head from each other. But that's not too successful, you know. It's difficult when you plan a strike on your right hand side for 3 turns in a row or something like that, and then you know that as the opponent, and that bothers me a bit actually. So I really would like to have some tweaks for Solitaire play, and now I have stumbled upon these Solitaire rules. I think it's called the CDG Solo Method, and it's done by a guy called Stuka Joe. I'm sure many of you have seen him on YouTube or other places, because he's a big name in reviewers and stuff like that. So probably maybe you have already seen this system as well. So I'm gonna try this out. To be honest, I haven't even tried this yet. So this will be the first time, and you guys will be with me testing this system out. But I have, of course, read through the rules. It's not that much, and from what I read, I really liked it. So I think this will suit me really well, because this introduced some things that I'm missing with the vanilla play, and that's, you know, having some kind of restrictions on what you can play. So you cannot just do these long-term plans, and then as the opposing side, I know of those. That's one thing, because you don't see all the cards, and also, what should we call it? Well, it kind of obscures the opponent's hand a bit, so you cannot see exactly what cards there are hidden beneath the play mat here. Or basically, some cards are face down, so you cannot see them. It goes for both sides, of course. But so I like it. So from what I read, so yeah, so I'm gonna test this, and let's see how it goes. If I like it, I will sure continue to use it for the Solitaire games to come. So yeah, I have printed out. There are some, you know, general rules for this system, and then there are some stuff for different games, and I was happy to see that there are some special rules here for Commands and Colors and how to handle that within the system. So I have printed out those 2 papers. I will for sure need to take a look at them, especially in the beginning, so we know what to do when we roll a die, because this system is depending on a die roll, and I have actually made myself a custom die here. So I think I will not go too much into how this system works right now, but when I start play, I explain what happens when I roll and so forth, and we take it from there. I think that's best. So these are the different sides that can be rolled with this system. So it's a bunch of letters usually, and here is actually the card hands, and as you can see we have some corresponding letters to each card here, and well, depending on how we roll A, B, then A and B will be used for playing in this turn, and yeah, let's see how it goes. But as you can see, I have all the cards face down, and the setup here says the cards A and B should be face up. So, but I want to start like this, and when I play, when I start play, I just make them face up at that point of time, just to give also in the beginning more obscurity of the opponent's hands. What else? Well, as I said, I think it's better we take it when the different situations occur. I don't know if there's anything here on page 2 that should be. Well, there's some rules also for handling of different hand sizes. In the scenario I will play now, it will not be an issue because both players will actually have a similar card count in their hand. So not valid now. We're gonna talk about that later on when we get to a scenario that has different card sizes or hand sizes. Section versus tactic cards. Yeah. So section cards are in this system also referring to troop and leadership cards. And troop cards, you know, that's those that think it's, you know, like light troops and stuff like that. And the leadership cards, I'm not really sure. I just came of thinking of, you know, a cavalry charge and so forth. I think that's or order mounted. Maybe that goes as a troop card as well. Anyway, so there's some differentiations there for what you can play and when and so forth. Lowers order count. Yeah, there's some rules stating lowers order count, and that's basically you need to choose a section that orders less of or the least amount of units possible, and you need to play that card. Tactician combat cards, there's no such in Ancients, but we have the first strike, and I will actually continue using my own first strike rule for this system as well. So if you remember, it's basically, if you get it, I roll one combat die to see if I play it, because if I roll something that has an effect on the opponent, like a casualty, or if it's forced to retreat by one die, then I will play it, otherwise not. Yeah, that's basically the thing. So we just play and see what happens. Okay, so for today's scenario then, well, this is from the bonus pack 2. And we will play the Battle of Indus 306 BC today, and this is actually a battle that's, well, we don't know really if it happened or not. We know that Seleucid did move eastwards to meet an Indian guy called Chandragupta Maurya, maybe it's pronounced, I don't know. Anyway, this guy, Chandragupta, he had been expanding his territory. He has a really big territory at this point of time in India, and now he was expanding westwards, and so he basically became in conflict with the eastern satrapies of the old Persian Empire, where Alexander's successors were dwelling now, you know, in the Indus Valley and there. So Seleucid, he therefore did muster up an army and went east to meet him, to hinder him to go too far westwards, I guess, and also defend the lands the Macedonians had there. So in 306 he marched there. He managed to get over Indus. I mean, this is kind of a like, if you remember the battle with King Porus, who did defend a river, the Hydaspes River, and trying to shadow the movements of Alexander at the time. And I feel this is kind of a similar situation. We have Chandragupta here, dwelling on this side of the river, trying to prevent Seleucid from crossing. But at some point of time, Seleucid and his armies did cross. They did some cavalry feint from the main army, and by that they were able to go over the river at some point with the main army. And that's the situation when we come into this scenario. So we are over the river with Seleucid. He has arrayed his army, waiting for his cavalry to come back, the one who did that feint attack. And those are actually depicted up here. I'm sorry about this layout here, because it's really, really low resolution in this package. So it's hard to see actually what's in here. But anyway, here's some cavalry, and there's also some elephants here. So he has an elephant corps with him as well. And that forced actually Chandragupta to attack, because he was in a difficult situation. The Macedonians were over the river and were waiting for reinforcements. So he thought, okay, I'll strike now. And so they did. The battle went on here. There was some skirmishing fights with lighter troops up in the hills. The Indians had problems with tackling these heavy phalanxes Seleucid brought with him, and because he has some lighter troops here, mainly cavalry. But eventually, it says that he managed to break the lines here because he got in some good elephant charges into the phalanxes here that broke them. So eventually Seleucid had to retreat from this battle. And at some point, some agreement were made between Seleucid and Chandragupta, and I think it was in favor of Chandragupta because he got most of the land that he had conquered, but probably he promised not to conquer any more lands westwards, because that was to be Seleucid land from now on. And there were some marriage plans done. I think it was, I don't remember who married with whose daughter here, but something like that. And also Seleucid got a big chunk of war elephants as kind of a gift, and I think it was actually hundreds of them. So those elephants were really handy in the later battles that the Seleucids did in the more western territories against the other successors. So, well, that's a short story about this battle. So let's see how this goes. And as I said, we don't really know if this battle really occurred in reality, or if Seleucid just went here, the armies faced each other, and at that point they did some kind of agreement. But as the treaty that was done after this battle, if it was one, was so favorable for Chandragupta, they think there might have been a battle that Chandragupta won actually. Well, that's it. So let's check the armies. So here we have, let's start with the Indians. Oh, sorry, we should check the War Council first, of course. So it's 5 cards each, so that's nice. so I don't have to tweak the solo rules for that in this first scenario we do. The Indian army is moving first. We will fight till we get 6 banners, and then we have some special rules. The stream is fordable, and that's the stream. And then we have 3 auxiliary units in the Indian army. They are special in the way that they actually are bow armed. So basically, they, in game terms or game mechanics, they work. It's these guys, by the way. It's so low resolution, so you hardly can read it out here. But these guys are bow armed auxilia. So basically, these guys work like a normal auxilia, but they have a fire range of 3 instead of 2. Yeah, so that's the war council. So 6 banners is the goal here. So now for the armies. Here we have the auxilia I was talking about. I have not marked them as any special units because these are the only auxilia on the Indian side. So we just try to remember that they have bows. Moving over the river to the center, we have the main army here. So up front we have 3 light cavalry troops, and then comes the Indian main line, and this is, I say this is quite impressive actually. We have 2 chariots and a nameless leader here, and so it's 2 chariots. Then we have a heavy infantry, really cool looking guys here, and that's Chandragupta here, and I believe these are his royal guards or something like that. And then we have an elephant unit. And behind the main punch line here, we have 2 medium heavy cavalry. So pretty good center, I'd say. I mean, this is impressive. If these guys can strike, they will hit hard, I'm sure of that. So over on the right hand side, where we have these anticipated skirmish battle going on, we have a light cavalry, we have light infantry, a bow unit up there, and then back here another light infantry. So that's it for the Indians. So kind of a cool, I like this setup somehow. It's a cool mix of different troops. So for the salutes, it's, well, over there we have that cavalry force coming back to join the main army. So we have the elephants there, and then we have 2 units of medium heavy cavalry, and if you can see it, there's a leader also attached to that middle unit there. And then we have the main line. We have a bow unit over there at the right hand flank, then an auxilia. Then we have 3 heavy phalanx units here with Seleucid himself attached. And back there, for some reason, I don't know why they were deployed there. Maybe they are also just joining the battle lines here. But we have 3 bow units. That's really impressive. But as I said, they are a bit, well, wrongly placed for an imminent clash, because they should be up here firing at the enemy. And then we have some units already taken the high ground here. We have an auxilia up on the hill, and just behind it in that valley we have a light infantry. And that's it. So here we have the whole deployment. And for battle plans, and if we start with the Indians, well, like in history, if there was an history about this battle, we should be concerned about the cavalry coming up here with the elephants. So I think I want to move forward really fast as I can with the troops I have, and hit those guys before the cavalry can attach. I'm not sure it's possible, but maybe we can try to screen the cavalry with the bow units here. That would be nice. So if we could rush over that river and get them to hold this flank, and harass those guys with bow fire, that would be really cool. Over here, I think we already have a guy in range of the enemy, so we can start pouring in some fire already, and then we can move up the lighted troops to throw some javelins as well. We have 2-to-1 in skirmish troops over here, so we will we like to have this battle of the mountains there. We could gain a banner or two by that. So basically, skirmish here, get those guys up on the river and over, and these guys start moving them as soon as possible to engage the enemy. The light cavalry could be a screen here. I think that's good because we have some fragile, heavy but fragile units with us, so we need a screen. We could even move up these guys as a screen as well, and they can be a good, you know, follow-up attack unit. If some heavier troops do the first attack and these guys can follow up and finish the job, that would be nice. So, Seleucids. Well, cavalry needs to attach as soon as possible, of course. We could go the route here or around the forest here, but then we will be attacked by these bow units, that's for sure. So I don't know really where to go with those guys. It depends on how this develops, I guess. The shortest route is of course that way, or even through the woods. I don't really know yet. Let's see. Otherwise, the main plan is, I think we want to wait. We don't want to march forward at least, because we want those guys to attach, and we want those bow units to come up here and do the skirmish for us, because that's our primary weapon against elephants and maybe even chariots. We want to shower these elephants with arrows so they cannot rush into our phalanxes. So I'm gonna stay put, wait for the cavalry, wait for the skirmishers, and hope we get them before the Indians attack. And over here, well, I don't really know. We are not in a good position, but if we move those bow units towards this side to then engage the elephant, they can, at least in a turn or two, be engaged in this battle, and then we suddenly have even out the odds and even got the more skirmishes in place compared to the Indians. So I think I'm going to move those guys up and go that route, and then, but this is the primary target for the bow units, get that elephant. Okay, that's it. So I think we're ready to start the game by that. Okay, so we will have the Indians who go first. This means I will now face up the places A and B on this card display. The red side are Indians and the blue side over there is the Seleucids. So we have a 2-unit center and a 3-unit center coming up here. And, well, I'm gonna take the instruction, have them close by so we can check what to do when we roll a die. Because now we need to roll the first die and see, depending on what we roll, we might turn up some more cards, or we just need to play some of these two, or something else could happen. Let's see. So let's roll it and see. So that's a CDE. Okay. Let's read here. If not already face up, flip any face down cards in space C, D, and E. And this is cool because now we can actually, we will have the full hand open here now. And then play card C, D, or E for any allowable purpose. Fill the played card space with a draw pile face down. So always when you get the new card later on, you will put them face down on your sheet. So we're gonna open the whole hand here, and we have a bunch of good cards we see here now. So basically this is kind of us playing with a full hand right now. So let's see, what do we want to do first? I think light troops would be nice this time, because that means we can move up these guys already to the river, and we could start a skirmish here, and we can even start moving up our screen to harass some enemies here. So that's cool. So I can order 5 units, and that's, by the way, a big impediment for moving everything, of course. I need to... Well, I know I want to move up these guys, all of them. I think they're going to play an important role in the battle later on, so that's for sure. Then the question is, should I move up the screen here, or should I start a skirmish fight over here? I think I might as well do that, because I have some center cards, so I can start moving up the screens by them separately later on. So let's take that as a fourth, and let's move up these cavalry as well. So that's 5 units. These guys will stay put, they are in range. These guys will move forward 1 so they can throw some javelins. These guys will just move up to the river. So they move 2, meaning they could not fire even if they would have the range, because they still go under the auxiliary rules here. That's it. So we need to discard this card, and then we put a new one face down over here. And that's the first turn. So now it's the Seleucids. So here we go. And by the way, now for the Seleucids we're gonna reveal card A and B. It's a bit cramped space here, but let's see. So we have a light troops and order 4 units left that we know of, but now maybe more cards will be revealed. Let's see. So that's an A, B and C. Let's just read it. If not already faced up, flip any face down cards. This is basically the same thing as the last one, because we can play it for any allowable purpose. So basically we're gonna flip card C, and we can choose one of these to do whatever we want. Okay, so it's left, light troops, or 2 in the center. I think I'll also go with my battle plan, meaning I will start moving up my bow units. I think they will also going to be important. So yeah, let's play the light units. And these also have a 5 unit hand. Oh, by the way, I forgot, I have some battles to do. Sorry guys. Let's do that first. So here we have the first, it's 2 dice, a flag. So these guys will actually retreat down here, and these guys don't have any target then. Okay, sorry about that guys. I'm so excited about this new Solitaire rules. I forgot to battle here. Anyway, over to the Seleucids again. So 5 units, and I think I'll move back these guys to the hill actually. I think I'm gonna do that. So that's 5. Yeah, move up here. These guys can actually throw some javelins. These guys move up here, they don't have any target. And these guys, they can move 2, so they go here. These can actually fire. So do these. These guys just moves along here. So, for the fire then, let's start with the javelin. Javelin throwing business from the hill down towards that cavalry. That's a miss. Then we have the first bow unit. That's a miss. And the second bow unit. And that's a miss. So now, no fire for effect here. Just homing in. Okay. So we have discarded the card from slot A. So we're gonna bring a new one here. And now it's the Indians again. So continue, roll the die. A and B. Let's see if there's any restrictions so you can play for any purpose. Here it is, A or B. Flip any face down cards. We have both faced up. Play card A or B for any allowable purpose. Okay, so this is also, we can do whatever we want, but we must play A or B. So it's a center card this time, and I'm quite okay with that. Question is, should we take 2 or 3? I mean, we could also move up one of the bows here. I think that's pretty cool actually, so let's do that. So I'm gonna play the 3 in the center. It's at auxiliary, and we move up some lights here. We start moving up the screen we have. So these guys, well, let's put them here. No, let's put them here. These guys will move up here. No, they I don't want to. Let's put them here anyway then. So he has moved. These guys move here, they can also fire. And these guys move here, can't fire. So we have a nice skirmish line. So these guys just rides here and throw the javelins, maybe go in a circle here. If they use that tactics, I don't know. So let's start with the bow against the enemy bow. It's 1 die. It's a hit. Pretty nice. And yeah, that was the auxiliary unit with the bow. And then we have some javelin throwing cavalry, same target. That's a miss. And last but not least, let's see if we can hit any heavies here. So let's target that guy adjacent to Seleucid. Or Seleucid. It's a miss. Okay. Replace the card, and then it's the Seleucids. ABC. Well, we know the drill right now. We can play A, B, or C for any purpose. Okay, so it's medium troops, 4 left or 2 in the center. 4 left, that could be really nice now, because we could start the skirmish big time. For the medium troops, we only have 1 actually, that's the cavalry over there. And then we could also do 2 in the center, so we could actually scare away these guys. Maybe that's a good thing to do now, because we don't want them to be here. I mean, they can next turn throw some deadly javelins. Yeah, I think I'll play the 2 in the center actually. I'm gonna answer towards the hostile skirmishing troops coming up here now. So I'm gonna start here, no movement by the way. Start here attacking those light cavalry there. 2 dice. That's an optimum result. First a hit, then they need to go 4 hexes back, and these guys, you know, are not supported, so they need to go 1, 2, and then they start losing 3 and 4. So this guy actually got eliminated by that. So the Seleucids got the first victory banner here. Good roll, because now these guys are also out of support for the next attack. And can you believe it? Another hit and a flag. But this time they can retreat. So let's see. First the hit, then need to go 4 hexes. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Remember, you can go through terrain that normally would stop you. With the retreats you can just pass. But what a skirmish from the Seleucids here. Impressive. So that was the 2 in the center. And it's the Indians. CDE. So we're going to reveal this. And then we play any one of these for any purpose. Mounted charge. No, I think I want to wait till we got these elephants and chariots to do that. And the cool thing is we can move 3 hexes with a heavy unit, so they have a bit of a range. Double time. Don't think so. So I think we're just gonna continue with the skirmish over on our right hand side with this card. The double time is not really that great now. So no, let's play 2 here and continue with the skirmishing here. So it will be the light cavalry and it will be the bows. I don't want to move because I want to have the maximum number of dice. So the skirmish fight continues. The bows fires against that light, who is not supported over there. They missed. Not that good of skirmish rolling from the Indians compared to Seleucids. These guys only have 1 target. It's the auxiliary up on the hill. Let's see. Well, that's a hit at least. That's it. We replace the card, and then it's the Seleucids. A, B. So A or B for any allowable purpose. Yeah. So here we go. It's 4 on the left or the mediums. And I don't want to move the mediums right now. So it will be 4 on our left hand side. So now we will see great skirmish happening here. Let's see. I want to march up my bows and then I'm gonna also play that unit. Yeah. But this time I want to move. So I'm gonna start threatening that elephant now. So I'm going to actually move 2 here. These guys as well. And these guys just move 1. Like that. Not bad at all, I say. So 4 units can attack. Those guys did not move, so they're going to throw javelins with 2 dice against that light cavalry, but they missed. Too bad, too bad. Then we have this bow. Let's target that same cavalry. It's only 1 die. It's a hit. Very good. We have the second one, same target, 1 die. It's another hit. And then these guys, they will actually attack that elephant. And that's a miss. Too bad. Too bad. Okay. Pretty cool. So, discard that. And put in another card. Okay. So here's the situation. I think I'm gonna end the session here actually. And, well... a quick recap. The Indians started moving up as they planned their left hand side here with the bow arm, the auxilias, and well, got 1 at least in skirmish range here with the enemy. We got the light cavalry moving up, skirmishing here and harassing the lines. Well, we got some losses on the enemy, but we were forced back with heavy losses here as the Indians. These guys were part of that attack and the other guy or unit was actually eliminated. So they got the 1 victory banner over here. As expected, we have seen heavy skirmishing over here. Both sides have taken losses, but also in this fight the Indians has taken most of the losses actually. And as the situation develops there right now, they are really in a bad position. They can be reached by so many skirmishing units now, so it's going to be dangerous for them to stay here and duke it out by skirmishing. So I think they need to start moving up the main line now, because the Seleucids have really got a nice line here. The centers have not been activated at all, pretty much. if we don't count the skirmishing we did here. So let's see if we, in the next part, see the main lines moving towards each other. I think the Indians at least are very interested of that, because if the skirmish fight continues, they might lose it. So they want to get in there and clash. Bad thing for them is that the screen we had has been lost. So the bow units can start firing at these vulnerable units, and that's concerning actually. And the Seleucids had not managed to move their cavalry. They are still waiting for the reinforcements to arrive there as they see the battle starts here. So I bet Seleucid himself is watching over his right shoulder all the time, waiting to see that dust cloud appearing from the distance and the relieving cavalry. Let's see if that happens or not. So by that, thank you for watching, and if you have any comments about this one, let me know. I think so far it has been fun and good. So I'm really excited to see how this goes to the end. And yeah, thanks for watching, and hope you will be back for part 2. Bye for now.